We are back and welcome back to another episode of The Dressing Room where we try on new perspectives, one conversation at a time. And I am your host, Jasmine, and this is my co host.
Matasha.
And we are here with another conversation, another hard truth conversation. One of those ones that make you look yourself in the mirror, i.e., mirror check, and really take accountability. Really see yourself for the things that you may need to grow in and the things that you need to expand. What? Oh, okay. Scared?
No,
Oh,
what's going on my nose?
you want to start this one off?
Okay, this topic is when you realize it's you.
I see the fly.
You see it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you got a bone to
It's
pick with
showing
you.
old.
What you put on? You put on a perfume?
No, I didn't put none on.
Oh, okay, so that's me. I got the perfume on.
Yeah, that's you. I had a little bit from earlier, but
So then that's probably that onion smell. It's right.
as I was saying, this episode is when you realize it's you. What do you do when you realize it wasn't them this time?
I'm not letting you start no more episodes.
Cause I wasn't. You threw me in it. You didn't tell me I
thought
was
that's
gonna
why
be
you was
starting.
rehearsing over there. You was looking
No,
at the paper for
I was
like
looking at
2
the paper
hours.
to. You want to start it over?
No, we gonna keep all of
Okay.
this.
All right, we'll keep it. Cause
I thought you was looking at the paper because you wanted to take over this time.
no, I really didn't.
Oh, okay.
Well, but that is the first question.
Is it really a question?
I mean, it really is a question because, like, when you finally sit by yourself and say, "Damn, it might be me."
I guess when I read that question, I hear it wasn't them this time.
And maybe that's not the best question
Yeah.
because well, see, we can go down a rabbit hole with the
I guess it all
situation
depends on who you're talking to.
because I feel like with most situations, it's always you.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't know how
Yeah.
you want me to answer that question because I
Yeah.
feel like it wasn't at this time that I realized that it wasn't them. It was a aha moment that was like, you know what? I'm the one that's in control of my life. And if I decide to give them the blame, I got to give them the power as well. So by me saying it's your fault, you did this to me, you made me feel like this, that means I had no control over me. So I
Correct.
didn't have a time when I was like, you know what, I realized it's not them this time. It was never them. And I think I just had that moment all at once.
So you have you experienced where you did blame someone else before you realized it was you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I think most of my situations before I realized like, dang, all this time I could have made better decisions or I could have looked at this differently or I was young and dumb. I would definitely say um well one my relationship with Damien, I would definitely say it was more of a I'm not even going to say that because even once that was over it was like we both need to fix something. We both need to get something together. But
Mm-hmm.
I will say in my friendship with my best friend, I felt like she's wrong. She is wrong. She should have never did this. She's looking at this wrong. It's the way she didn't process it right. She just going off of her emotions. I blame it was more of a it's your fault, your fault, your fault. Even when we fell out, it was a you did this to me. You did this to me.
Mm-hmm.
You did this to me type of thing. And I was a blame game back and forth. And it wasn't until, still, I would say, it wasn't until, me and Damien split up that I started to realize, like, one, that was a childhood friendship.
Right.
And we may have clicked really good as children or young adults that may not have moved into adulthood that well.
Correct.
And then the things that worked as young adults didn't work as adults.
Mm-hmm.
But what I realized was, you know what? We both was the problem because we didn't have the tools.
Right.
We didn't have the tools to actually sit down and navigate our disagreements.
Right.
So at one point, yeah, she was the problem. Blame, 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 blame. But I feel like it was more out of hurt, out of like, no, da, 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 you did this, you did this. Da, da, da. It's a lot of hurt that comes out of that. But yeah, I definitely blamed her for all the for the disconnect, for the breakup.
Do you feel like that moment when you realize, damn, I played a big part of that? Did it make you feel like did you have an embarrassing moment like, oh shit, I did the most or I was doing the most and it was me too. Ooh,
I
oops.
didn't have an embarrassing moment.
Right.
I
Okay.
had like I can feel better about this moment.
Mm.
Like, what if we both wasn't the problem? Like, I could fix it now.
Right.
We probably can fix this now that I know that it only happened because we didn't have the tools to make it work back then. So when I realized that we both just didn't have it, it was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't that we couldn't work. It wasn't that, oh, we was never friends from the jump. It wasn't that you was hating on me from day one.
Right.
You know, it was more so like, wow, now that I look at it from this perspective, we can fix this.
Right.
We can go into it with more of an open heart because now we have the tools to be more filled with gratitude.
Right.
We got the tools to be more filled with grace. We can give each other
Yeah.
grace.
Yeah.
So if I was to bring this conversation up, if I was to approach, I know how to approach it now. I know how to say, look, I was wrong.
Baby, I was wrong.
Baby, I was wrong. I know how to say I was wrong, or I realized the part that I played in it. And we should have had that conversation a long time ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I did realize that I was the problem and I took that accountability, I felt free and I felt like I could fix this now. I
Right.
know how to fix this now because I figured out where we went wrong. Because a lot of times when you go through those breakups, those real bad breakups, those long 10-year breakups, you like, damn, that grieving process is long. It took
Mm-hmm.
me a long time to get over, and I don't wasn't say it was completely ever over. You know them friendships that you don't never unfollow each other. You still
Right.
keep that one picture on your page of y'all two.
Mm-hmm.
I never was the
Mm-hmm.
type to be like, I'm gonna block you on this and unfollow you. It was like I'm still holding on somewhere. Like I probably
Yeah.
can't have you completely, but it's still a part of me that want to keep you there.
Right.
So I did eventually feel better about it. Like, you know what? Now that I can blame me, I can go into any other relationship with a different mindset and a different agenda because I'm in charge.
Right. I'm in
I'm in
charge.
charge. That's how I feel. I'm not sure if you feel differently about, you know, having a aha moment like, dang, I was the problem. But you felt embarrassed.
Mm-mm. No, it was. It was more like what you said. It wasn't embarrassing. It was just like,
Mm.
wow,
Mm-hmm.
all this time,
The whole
the
time.
whole time, like I could have made better choices.
Yeah.
I could have chose something else for myself and for this friendship or this relationship, and I didn't. And but you know what I think about? Could I have made better choices if I didn't have the
You
tools?
couldn't have.
Right. So
Right.
what happened because there was
You needed to
nothing else
learn
I
something.
had to learn in that
Yeah.
process.
There was no
That's
way
why
you was gonna make that choice because you didn't have that choice as an option.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh, I got a question. So what helped you realize to even think and sit and come to the rationalization that it's me and I could have made better choices. I mean, like, was it something you saw, you
Mm-hmm.
heard, you somebody told you something, had a conversation with you that made you start to have that get that aha moment? Because normally we might be watching something on TV or read a book. Was it something in particular that got you there?
Maybe conversations with my mother.
Mm.
I can't really say that it was a particular TV show or a movie or music. I just know it was around a certain time that I was just thinking about the losses I had took all at once and rebuilding myself back up after those
Mm-hmm.
losses. You are afraid of ever experiencing it again.
Yeah.
So then you feel like, let me take inventory.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You
I
know what I
like that.
mean?
Take inventory.
Let me take
Ooh,
inventory on how did I get here? You know,
that's a good one.
like how
That's
did
a
I
good
get here? And
one.
I went down a rabbit hole, more so having conversations with you, having conversations with myself, having conversations with God, because you know when you get to a place where the only person that can help you is God, you be
Mm.
like, I'm praying out to God to help me with these,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I think once I decided to say, okay, how did I get here? I need to retrace my steps.
Mm.
When I sat with myself and retraced my steps, it led back to
Back to
me.
you. Yeah, it always do.
It led right back to me. And I think that once we started doing the work and
Mm-hmm.
more work in our family oriented space,
Yeah.
once I it was around that time that you told me how I showed up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I need to change that. So now my thought process is even different because if my family see me this way, who's to say what else I probably need to fix? And
Right.
that's why I try to tell people like, tell your people when they look bad.
Yeah.
And you
Mm.
should be able to have that conversation and tell your people when they just not looking right.
This is a good. That's good because that plays that. I didn't even think about that with this topic. Recognizing when it's you, you're
Mm-hmm.
the problem. A lot of times you don't know the problem
You
because
don't
ain't
even know.
nobody told you.
Nope, you don't even know you're the problem. And you want to know why people don't even tell you? Because you're not approachable. The
Mm.
person that end up telling you is probably going to be somebody really super close that know you ain't
Mm-hmm.
going nowhere. You
Right.
probably unapproachable to even tell. And then
Mm-hmm.
two, they probably got their own shit. So they
Yeah.
can't come to you and tell you you look a mess.
Right.
So when you surrounded by mess, you
And
end
your
up
mess
becoming a
may
part of it.
align with their mess, so they
Exactly.
don't even see your
Yeah, they
mess.
don't see
Yeah.
your mess if they just as
Mm-mm.
messy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do think nobody felt comfortable. Even when people would describe, when I say people, my family would describe me, you know, that's how Jazz is. You can't say
Mm-hmm.
nothing to her. She's gonna do, and I wanted to change that narrative. I
Yeah.
didn't want to be the person that nobody could say nothing to. So
Mm-hmm.
when you start to hear those words, well, for me, it was like I need to do something differently because what if I was showing up like that in my friendship?
Mm.
What if I had pieces of that in my relationship? What if all of this was me? And then
Right.
you realize that the only relationship that you're truly in is the relationship with yourself. And now you mind blown because you like, I was dating me. I was in friendship with
Mm-hmm.
myself. So yeah, that inventory, you sit there, you take time out and you say, you know what? Where did this stem from? How did it start? You know, with my man, it started from the first conversation. Red flag, you remember? Red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Red flag hitting you in the head. They
We're gonna
came.
get a red flag.
We gonna get a red flag on the plate. Flag on the plate. It shows up and you ignore it.
Yeah, we
You know
do.
what I'm saying? And I feel like the red flag in my friendship was you felt the uncomfortability about something,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't voice it. You just tucked
Yes.
it
Why do we do that?
because we afraid of losing a relationship.
Mhm.
If I bring this up, I don't know how you're gonna act. I don't know how you're gonna respond. I don't know how you're gonna receive it. I don't feel safe enough to really tell you my truths or to have difficult conversations with you. Because a difficult conversation is me more so telling you about yourself. And if you're not ready to receive how I view you, then you're gonna just bite back. You're gonna
Mm.
come back with more aggression. Who are you to tell me, oh, because you perfect? Those are the rebuttals
Yeah.
that you get when you go to tell somebody about how they showing up. Everybody not in a place to receive that. So you gotta really show people that you are in a place to be able to receive criticism before people feel comfortable giving it to you. Unless you meet somebody like me now, today, the new me. And and I'm gonna be honest with you, it depends on who you are to me. Because if I invest my time and my skill into trying to tell you to show up differently, I actually care about you. If I don't
Right.
care about you, I feel like I'm not about to waste my time there. Then if you come and ask me for my advice, I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna always show you you first.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever you're attracting is a reflection of you.
Oh, a lot of people don't realize that. Like, how I keep running to the same guy
You're the
because you're the
same
same
person.
person. It's you, not them.
But yeah, that was a good question. Definitely.
I like that whole doing the inventory check because if you have in any inventory, you realize what's working, what you need, what you don't
Mm-hmm.
need. But
Mm-hmm.
if you never do an inventory check, you don't know.
You'll never know.
You don't.
But you don't even think. I think people should start to say, you know what? If I keep taking L's, I gotta go back. That's insanity. You're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting
Mm-hmm.
different results. I gotta go back to the drawing board.
Right.
I gotta go back and see, okay, where did I mess up at? Where was the breakage? And the minute I found out that the breakage was here, I could fix that. Cool, I'm good for the next relationship. Let me change that. It doesn't mean that the next one gonna be perfect. It just means that I fixed that thing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Don't mean you're gonna be
Exactly.
perfect, but at least I fixed that.
Right.
It was a lot of moments when you would say, "Well, Jazz, you be embarrassing people." And my thought process, that's how I was taught. My dad embarrassed us, and we fixed it. So I felt like in my relationship, somebody ought to be embarrassed. Was that healthy? Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And do I feel like there are moments that embarrassment works?
It had
Yes.
to. Look at me.
Yes.
All my dad did was embarrass us.
But it also taught you to do embarrass
It
people
taught
too.
me to do that. It taught me that that's what works.
Yeah, and it worked, and it works for certain things,
It
not
do.
everything. And there's a moment for everything. And
And
then
everybody can't handle everything.
yeah,
Some
everybody
people can,
can.
some people can't. Because the way I handled embarrassment was different from the way Misha handled it.
Exactly.
So you gotta learn your people.
You,
I might have to go to
yes.
you and say, "Hey, can I talk to you?" I might have to bring somebody to the side and tell them they breath stink. I can be
Mhm.
like, "Girl, take this stick of gum, funky breath ass," you know, and you gonna laugh and be like, "My shit stink." God damn. Everybody can't, you know what I'm saying? So you really gotta
Right.
take inventory on who you're
On who
around
you
and
around.
who can handle
Yes.
what, because somebody you can be like, "You're dirty butt ass, shoes all messed up." You ain't got another pair of shoes to wear. That might hurt somebody else's feelings.
Mhm.
And then taking inventory on who you're around helps you be more aligned with the people that you should be around. Because everybody can't take me.
And every adult is not healed.
Yeah.
You may be looking at a adult and think you can say some stuff, but when you say it, it hits the 7-year-old, not the
Yes.
35-year-old. So now
Yeah.
they're
They
broke
tore
up.
up and they triggered.
That's why I say there's my approach, then there's your approach. And I
Mm-hmm.
think for me, my approach is, first of all, I think, I love kids. And then even as a child, I wish I was kind of handled a lot different than I was. So I think that's why I handle people in conversation the way I do.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
so
you have that soft. I always
yeah.
used to say, "Mom, you be beating around the bush."
Yeah, and I'm
But
really pulling you in slowly. I'm not bam hitting you with it. And I think sometimes my conversation get long because I'll use me. I'll say, I understand what you're going through. There was a time, you know, I went through this, and that, and I had to realize or whatever. See, people need to know that you understand where they are in order for you to get through to them, because they think you're just talking at them. You're wrong, you did this, you did that. They get defensive and they tense up. They don't know how to really receive it. Now there may be some people that be like, just give it to me straight,
yeah,
and they got it, but that's not everybody.
that's not everybody. But I also be feeling like sometimes even when you take that approach, I mean, I guess even with my approach or your approach, it still don't work.
Well, sometimes
Because I be like,
no
"Mom,
matter
sometimes
what
they
the
think you
approach,
too
they not
nice."
ready to receive whatever it is. I don't
Yeah.
care what you do. You can take a child and raise them a certain way and instill certain things in them, and you be like, I don't know what else to do.
But
But
you know what I think it is too? I think there's some people that I run into and I be like, they need my mom approach. I'm
mm,
not I'm not That's not gonna work for me. And then some people you run into, I be like, "Mom, you need to let
Yeah.
me talk to them. Let me
Yeah.
say it, because your approach ain't work. That ain't work. They ain't listening." So I think that everybody takes the approach, but at the end of the day, if you're not ready to receive the information, you just not gonna receive the information.
It's so many we have a lot of red flags, and we create our relationships based around our own red flags. We trying to recognize I'm recognize his red flags. No, what's yours? Because your red
Ooh,
flags got you into this.
what's one of your red flags?
Girl, all my flags are
Girl, no,
green.
they not.
Girl,
Girl, that one right there. That how you
girl,
showing up right here at this
brother.
moment. Please. Hmm.
Red flags me? No.
What's one of your red flags?
Do I have let me see.
Do I have? Do I have?
A red flag. No,
Okay,
you
well,
get
what's one of my red flags?
that's
And
what I'm
then I was
saying. I gotta think about it. A
you.
red
I don't gotta think about it. So you tell me what's one of my red. You think I got a red flag?
from a I don't know, from like if I'm gonna be your friend or from a relationship point of view, like something that you do that would be like, don't or you need to
I think a red flag may be something unhealed, something that you still need to work on, something you need to fix, something that ain't okay.
mm,
Regardless of what type of relationship it is, it's just you, and it ain't gonna be healthy regardless of what relationship you in.
well, or what do you think my red flag is?
You want me to start at the top of the list or at the bottom?
Girl, you can start at the middle. Because I know it's short. Can't be but maybe one thing.
A red flag that you may have.
Hold on, whisper it. Hold up. Right?
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Off camera. Um, you know what? Actually, and you know, as much as I like to do you in, take you
Yeah,
through
and
there,
you do.
I do. I'm gonna say as of right now, because I do feel like you are working on a lot of them. I wouldn't say, oh yeah, that's a red flag, because you intentionally try to fix these things that I would consider like, mom, that's a red flag.
Right.
You can't be like that. You know, you remember we had that conversation when I was like, you be flirting with people and leading them on, and then you try to make it seem like I ain't said nothing, I ain't did nothing. That's just how I am. That's a red flag. You're literally sweet talk a man right out his drawers, and then make it seem like I don't know what he thought was about to happen. What the fuck? Red flag. What are you doing? You like messing with people's emotions. You like it's almost as if you like to see if you still got it, or if you could get him going, or I don't know what your intentions are,
The
but I
thing
think it's the
is,
oblivious of it, the oblivion of it all. Like, what did I do, girl? Because even we had a struggle with that conversation. Like, you know what you doing? You gonna sit here and try to play?
I will say that I don't feel like me flirting is a red flag. That's just a part of who I
You
am.
flirting and then trying to figure out why his penis is hard, and now he want to fuck. You like, what you want to fuck for? I ain't did nothing. You sat there and turned him on from start to finish, and then you trying to figure out why he wanna.
He can't control himself. He don't have no
Wow.
control over his body, no matter what
You
I
don't have
say.
no control over the things you say out your mouth, trying to make it seem like it's something that it's not. You like a toxic man that could sit there and feed you all that bullshit, make it seem like, I love you so much. And he ain't gonna do shit with you. Ain't gonna give you $1 for rent.
But who did I do that to? I
You
don't
want
do
me to
that to
say it on the
people.
speaker?
I don't do that to people. Who did I do that to and then didn't give them none?
And you didn't give him none since that time you did it to them.
Oh, well, I probably stopped. That probably well now that's a aftermath red
It's
flag, I
still a
guess.
red flag.
Okay, that's fine. Well, the thing there is, um, you know what it is, because once I let you go and you keep coming back, we back to that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you
You feel
want
like I should play
this.
on your intelligence.
You want
I should
this.
play on your
Whatever
intelligence.
I'm doing, you want this.
Or you could just cut it off, stop talking to him.
I could.
But you choose not to.
And I have. Sometimes I do, and then,
Sometimes you don't.
and sometimes I don't.
Red,
But
red flag.
okay, red flag, Anything else,
No, I thought you
Jasmine?
had one for me.
Oh, I don't know if it's a red flag, but I think um for you that thing with your attachment issues. Right? Right?
Like my man.
Right, that attachment thing, and you can be a bit, and
Clingy,
clingy and claimy.
claimy.
I mean,
Is that a
that's
word to me?
my mother. Like, it's my man. Even to the kids, move. He's mine. He'll be your father for the 5 minutes that I release him, but other than that, he's mine. You got
You
that
think that's a
thing.
red flag?
I said I don't
Oh,
really. It's like it can be that can fall somewhere. Maybe
we'll
yellow.
let the audience decide.
Yeah,
Y'all let us know if what I said about her was really a red flag or not, and what she said
and
about
tread
me was a
lightly.
red flag. Because I mean, I guess it could be. I guess depending on who's looking at it and how people. You know what though? I think there are, and I'm gonna say in relationship with that clingy thing that I have, it works for him. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So like being in a relationship, if you showed up a certain way that your partner was like, that's just who she is. I love her how she is. It's like, is it a red flag if he looks at it as green?
Well, then maybe not.
But I mean, I
Well,
do
what
feel
about
like,
the way you heard me on that conversation? But he actually likes it.
and but the thing was, we had a separate conversation. I ain't trying to go too deep into the,
Mm.
but remember we had a separate conversation when he was
Mm-hmm.
trying to take it to the next step, and you had
Mm-hmm.
your nose turned up. Like, why would you want to do that? And I'm like, well, maybe. And then I said, wasn't he the one that you was flirting with, talking about
But
I
he
could use some
also,
vitamin D?
right. But he also, so you don't hear what they be saying.
Girl, I'm not about to do this with you.
It's not my fault. They get all caught up in
Cause
this
you don't
in
hear what
this
they be
Charlotte's
saying
web.
first.
No, that's not my problem. My problem, not their problem. But yeah,
That is
so
funny.
yeah.
I got a question for you.
What's your question?
What patterns keep repeating in your life?
You nosy, bro.
Yeah. Cause I mean,
What
whatever
patterns?
patterns they are, that means that's something that you probably should work on.
I'm actually in a season of like cutting a lot of patterns that I've had, honestly. And one of the patterns was that I noticed where was with my children,
Mm.
helping, and then the help not being it would I felt like the help was being abused.
Okay.
I feel like it's being abused, but and it is, but I also don't stop helping. So my
Mm.
pattern is not drawing the boundary and saying enough is enough. Figure it out because I'm not helping no more. Because even when I do, I get screwed.
I got
So
you.
that pattern. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's been going, and it has went on for years. Where I'll get upset and be like, "Well, I did this, and then she didn't do this, and blah 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 blah." And then next time that blow over, Mom, can I? And I do it again, and then I get
Mm.
hurt in the process because what you promised you didn't do, you didn't pay this back, you didn't do that, and then we move on from it, and it happens again. So I've been doing that for years. So that's a
Mm.
big pattern that I have to stop. That thing is, I'm gonna tell you what happens too. And I know y'all done experienced this. You be like, I'm done. I'm done. They can't get nothing else from me.
With
Nothing.
conviction in your heart and
And
audacity
I
in your front
mean it.
pocket. Not
It's
a
they better not utter a word.
and then
Hello.
that's your attitude face. You know when you answer the phone with attitude, ready,
Mm-hmm.
prepared to not do
Cause
shit.
I already know, and I know which ones. I know y'all gonna see this and y'all know which ones. I'm like, Ma, what you doing? I knew it right there.
Right
You
there, what
what?
you doing? Because I'm trying to see if
Cause
you
you
got your
really
wallet.
don't care what I'm doing. Cause I ain't heard from you in 3 weeks in a month. You don't care what I'm doing. Not saying they don't care about me, but you really don't care about what I'm doing in this moment. All right, let's just cut the chase. What do you need? And the minute they say, "Well, can I have such and such? Or do you got such and such?" My first thought is, "Hell nah."
Yeah, that's the thought that comes up, but that's not what come out your mouth.
And then I go into, so what is it for? What do you need? What's the blah blah all
All
the,
the questions.
and then by the time we get it, but I'ma do this. But you gotta make sure you do this.
Finesse.
And then
Yeah.
that same,
I got another question.
it's
That's
like
a
I'm
good one.
waiting for it to, like I'm waiting for them to fix that thing because I want them to be better. And then I gotta recognize it's not them, it's you. It's me. It's me. I know it's me. So I just gotta just say, nah, I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't. That's just it. And become comfortable with that. It's so many things that I didn't do before that now I'm so comfortable with saying no, or I don't got time, or I'm whatever it is where I'm comfortable. That thing right there, I'm still working on. I can admit that.
What do you think causes you to not go with your gut of saying no? Knowing that you have every right and that you should.
I still think I'm dealing with that. I know it's that that in my pit, that trauma thing where as a child for me, and even as a teenager, um, even as an adult when I started having kids, not having anybody to reach out to and say, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Oh, I'm in a situation. And I never wanted y'all to ever be in that situation. So now I overdo it with y'all. Well, with my kids, not all of y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no.
But I overdo it because I know what that felt like to have so much family around and couldn't call one person to say, "Hey, can you help me?" You know. Now, and I'm not saying that wasn't. I may have had one person that I can say at different times has helped me, or one aunt.
Yeah.
Outside of that, no.
So you feel like when you continuously say one thing, even though you feel in another, it's out of what you felt as a child, or
I'm actually handling my children through my own trauma. Yeah.
that makes sense.
And my trauma was more so even with my mom. I always felt like I should better go to my mother. That's my mother. But that was my expectation. That was my bad. My bad. I expected my bad. I apologize. But
With you now knowing that you're the problem, what? Yeah, very much so the problem. You are the problem of your own demise. And what is was there a certain situation that took place that made you be like, okay, I've got to put my foot down, or do you still feel like you kind of still winging yourself off of?
it's still some residue there.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not completely healed in that department.
Is it anybody in the back of your head that you hear when these situations?
Really? Really?
I'm curious.
Oh, really?
No, okay, no. I'm gonna change that question. I know that it's me. But the question was because I want people to understand, you know how some people say, like, when do I stop trying? How many times have me and you had the conversation and I'm telling you what it is, what not to do, what to do, what not to do. And it's like, dang, she ain't listening to me. But I never felt like I ain't gonna tell her no more. Actually, I got to a point where I didn't have to tell you, you would tell me.
Yeah, I already knew. I would know in the moment because even when I would get the phone call and I'm listening to the conversation, it's almost like I hear you like, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't. No, it don't even matter. Let them figure it out. I don't care what. So what? It's not your problem. It's not your problem, Mom. Hang up the phone. Tell them no.
Ignore you sleep.
Right. I could hear it, and so, what you just asked me?
I was at first I had said who's in the back of your head, but I was saying I was speaking on how many times we've had the conversation about the
Yeah.
same thing over and over again. But I would always say my first thing to you is, Mom, that's your fault.
Yeah.
I would never speak on whichever child it was or whoever it was. I'd be like, oh, that's your fault.
Oh
Or
yeah,
that
definitely.
would be my immediate thing. And I always tell people, you gotta check yourself. If you going through something, if you think about it, if you keep falling over the same fucking stick, that means you're not trying to reroute.
You're not trying to
Go
reroute. Or
around the
you need to get your ears checked.
It's one of the two.
Something
Your
is going
equilibrium
on.
is off.
Right. You're off. They're not off. The stick is not off. You're off.
They're doing exactly what they
Yeah.
would do to anybody. You're
Yeah.
just the one that's getting got. So it's like, well,
Sweetie.
sweetie. So it's like you need to take some inventory on yourself and figure out, like, okay, what do I need to do there? Stop being mad at them. Be more mad at yourself.
Yes. Yes. And and I lived in that place also with this thing where you blame other people. You get comfortable with being if I blame you and you're the problem, I get to be the victim.
Yeah, and you was victim mode from
Oh,
since I met
victim.
you.
And
Oh, you
you
was
know what
victim
it, and you
mode.
know what I realized about that, the aha moment I had. Okay, there was a point I was a victim of a circumstance, but it was
Mm-hmm.
that circumstance.
Yeah.
And I carried it.
Into every
I
circumstance.
carried it into everything because some traumas cut deep.
Yeah.
And you carry it until you can heal it. And when it cut deep as a child, you don't know how to heal it. The people around you can't teach. The people around you, they don't even care. So you carry that until you run into somebody or something that can help you deal with it. But after you've carried it for a long time, it takes a while to
for you to get rid of it.
Yeah. So
you
yeah, you
it.
spend a long time being the victim until one day somebody explains it to you. You just like, oh, ain't no damn victim. When you don't want to be that, you decide, I no longer want to be that.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to be. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to be comfortable in that space.
Yeah.
Especially when we walk around, I'm this, I'm that, and the whole time you're not. You're portraying something that you're not. You feel totally different inside. Now, I can show up like, oh, I got it all figured out.
Right.
I have, I've done that plenty of times, but but I was taught to be able to be both people.
I'm trying to think if I have any patterns that keep repeating in my life.
I think you starting to handle them because you would have. I think you would attract friends that eventually y'all would have. I don't know if you would outgrow them or they would y'all relationship would start to shift, and then you have to figure out, do I keep trying to work this out, or do I let it go? And you've had that, so I don't know what that pattern is, but I've seen that happen, and more so in your friendships, your female friendships, relationships.
Another pattern that I think about, and I don't think that people relate it to like our topics, but in your personal life, every beginning of the year, this gonna be my year, and you say I'm a lock in, and it's like, what does lock in look like to you? And then the next year you look like the same last year, and then you look like the year before last. So I think that's one of the things that I realize I run into. I start and stop things. I'll start a business. I'll start a book. I'll start a podcast, and then a month,
you don't stay
the
the course.
Yeah, I don't stay the course.
That's a good
Yeah, and I watched that repeat in my life in different areas or different um projects that I've came up with, or ideas that I've had, and I have a start stop type of pattern going on, and it's just like, this is and it's all me. I can't say, you can say I just be busy. Right. You can blame it on work, your 9 to 5, but then you look at other people and you get inspired by the people that got just as much going on as you, but they're getting it done. And they don't know how they're getting it done. If somebody asks me now, how you getting this done? I just get it done. You put this, you prioritize a little bit, and you just get it done. You make it a priority. I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? Versus I get to it Friday. I
Right.
literally just had a conversation with one of my friends, and she sent me a video about millionaires doing everything fast
Mm.
and how broke
I
people
just
do
saw that
everything
on
slow.
something.
We reply back to text messages slow. We answer the
Mm.
phone slow. We get to the door. We do everything slow. Millionaires do things fast. And literally, it was something that shifted in me once I watched that video that I said, oh, we got to record the podcast Friday. Oh, I got
Mm-hmm.
to get this done by Saturday. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
never say, well, let's do maybe May, I don't know, 30th. No.
Yeah.
I got time off. I'll make time on Friday. I know I got this, and that, but I'll squeeze this in too. We're going to get that done.
Right.
You know, I'm going to have to stay up late. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stay up late Thursday night.
Use your whole 24 hours.
I'm using
up.
the whole 24 hours. I'm going to give me some espresso. We're going to be up. So I think that the mirror check is one of the biggest things that relate to this topic, because that was the whole reason for that accountability,
Yeah.
and how important it is to take accountability for your own actions and for how your life go. I tell people, you get to write your own book. This is your book. You're the author. You get to say who stays and who goes. You can let them characters die off. You know what I'm saying? You could kill a few characters off.
Ooh,
You know what
yes,
I
you
mean?
can.
You
Yes, you
can
can.
literally paint this story exactly the way you want it to go. You think people like mothers, oh no, you gotta take care of them kids because they're yours. I know plenty of mothers ain't taking care of shit, and they did. They paint their story the way they want to.
Yeah.
Fathers too. Grandparents, some grandparents want to be all in. Some grandparents like, listen, when I feel like you get to paint your story the way you want to. And when you do, don't be worried about what other people got to say about your story. That's your book.
Right.
You got to live it. So, accountability.
Yeah.
I was looking at from blame to
That's what I was
ownership.
just about
Oh,
to
really?
say. I
Oh, go
swear.
ahead.
From blame to ownership. What changes when you accept it? That's You stop repeating cycles, and that's what I just heard you say. About what you were saying about your patterns. You got to stop starting and stopping, starting and stopping.
Mm-hmm.
You stop the cycles. You make different choices. You make better choices for yourself that's just about you and not everybody else. You know,
I feel like it's something freeing about taking accountability. Like I said, you get to say it's all that's on me. You get to take power. It's a
yes.
power trip for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather blame me than you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the minute I blame you, that means you got control.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You ain't got no
People
control
don't
over what I
realize
got going on.
that.
Yeah. Oh, I did that. Oh, that was me. That's all me right there. That's what I like to be able to say that, and that's the power trip, and I love it. I love to be able to say, I made that decision, because the minute I blame you for how I showed up, that means I don't got no control over how I move. And I
Right.
want you to know that I make the decisions around this bitch, and I got control over whether I'm gonna go left or right. I'm telling you what I'm going to do.
Right.
And we used to talk about that in like relationships, because I hear a lot of women say, well, I'm waiting to see what he gonna say, or I'm gonna see what he do, or how he act for the next 3 days. Why are we waiting to see what they gonna do? Why are we waiting to see what they gonna say? What you want to do?
And
How
if
do
he
you
didn't
want to
already
move?
did something that you like, I'm gonna see how he act for the next 3 days.
Why you need another example of who he is? Excuse me.
You already know who he is, and you know what he gonna do.
Ooh, basura.
You just making an excuse to stay. Just stay. Just stay in the shit. Don't make excuses. What he did with the last 3 days, he been showing up, and we went out and we did this. He did a few things to just get you to chill the hell out, and he gonna go right back to his pattern because he know you gonna go right back to yours. Acceptance, accepting whatever you get, the bare minimum.
I will say that there is a lot of healing when you start to take that accountability.
Yeah.
The healing starts, y'all. The healing starts, and you can forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can forgive yourself through the things that you've accepted, the things you tolerated, and can't nobody make you feel shameful about it or nothing.
Right.
When I say that healing kicks in, and you be like, "Damn, how was you able to go from this to this?" I took accountability.
Right.
I was able to say, you know what, that's my fault. That was my fault. In my relationship, I said, I knew he was lying to me from day one. Had I had walked away that day, I would never been in 7 years worth of bullshit. How can I sit here and blame him?
That's what I say about my husband.
I knew he was.
I knew
I
he
knew
was a
he's full of
cheater.
shit from Day one. First
Right.
question. And I stayed. And I want to sit here and blame him for showing me who he was from the jump. Now I have learned a lesson.
Mhm.
When you peep that little piece, start the fluttering, and then you like, he
Mhm.
lying. Walk away.
Mhm.
Keep it pushing. Or you
Mhm.
gonna think about, do I want 7 years of bullshit?
Mm.
Yeah. And then everybody's not 7. Some people's 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Walk away. Walk away.
And why do we stay in something that we do more complaining about it than we do enjoying it? That's crazy. That don't make sense.
I
You
don't know.
complaining more than you enjoying it. You know,
I
that's
think
like eating food
that you don't even like.
you don't even
I
like.
hate black eyed peas. I ate 3 peas.
Like, or just doing anything. Like, you don't go on a trip to somewhere and that ain't where you just went. Why did you go? Like, it doesn't really make sense. It
Yeah.
only makes sense, but it makes sense when you're unhealed. When, you're receiving things
Yes.
and people and tolerating behavior based on your own trauma, not his, not hers. Yeah, I'm here. Or you make them excuse. I don't want to just walk away because I don't know how they gonna be if I
And
leave.
you know what's crazy about that? You think about
What?
the people that you left high and dry and how successful they did when you rolled out. That you was so afraid they was gonna fall on their face and hit the ground once you left. And you like, he done got his own apartment. He done got a car and shit, 2 jobs.
After I took his
I
ass for
bet
7 years,
we you pointing fingers, you saying
I ain't pointing
names.
no fingers. I ain't saying no names.
Okay.
I still love him though, but
But I'm saying though, you notice that with a lot of people. I not be
yeah.
wanting to be like, let's test it out. You know how they test their products on animals?
And
I
you
be
know
like,
what?
listen, just
Yeah.
leave and see what happens.
Mm,
I promise you something
like what I said
spectacular.
to you early on. Just do this and let's see what.
Listen, you know, I got to a point early on. I called my mother. I think he lying. He is lying and I'm over it. What do I need to do? You know, I got
Mhm.
to a point where also I was ready to accept the advice you gave me and actually do it. I
Right.
didn't want to just hear the
Hit
shit no
it.
more.
Yeah.
Everything that I had tried did not work. Everything. I had tried it all. I thought I was top shit. I thought I was top dog. And I'm like, dang, ain't none of my shit working. I'm still going through the same thing. So the minute I called you, I'm like, what should I do? Once you told me what to do, I did it. And I'm like, ever since then, it's been an experiment. Ever since then, I be like, what you think I should do? And just do it. Because at that point, you're like, what do I got to lose? I ain't going to lose shit. If I crap out, I don't lose
You
nothing. I'm playing
don't.
with your money.
That's exactly what it is.
So and ever since that day, I listened to you ever since.
Yeah. And the reason why I could tell you that because of the things I had experienced and I knew for a fact that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now there was things I still needed to learn. Unfortunately, I'm gonna tell you the problem with me. When you had somebody like you can come to me, Miss Powell, different people
Mm-hmm.
that could give
Yeah.
you some knowledge.
Shout out to Miss Powell.
I didn't have, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And I had to turn to reading books and watching Iyanla.
Yeah.
I didn't have personal people in
The
my
call.
life to call and give me that kind of good advice
You know what
or
I
help me
learned?
see things through. I had to just keep stumbling and
Yeah.
busting my head open and figuring it out.
That's why I make so many connections too.
Mhm.
And not even that now I don't make so many connections. I just nourish the good connections that I do have
Yeah.
because some people are great at things that somebody else might not be great at.
Right.
Or some people are great at things that you're not great at. So it's like you need people. You gotta find your own people. You know, people like blood ain't thicker than water. Well, that's your family. I never looked at the word family the way everybody else looked at the word
Yeah.
family.
Family over everything.
Mm, and I'm okay with family over everything, but I'm gonna pick the ones I want to be my cousin.
Right.
I'm gonna pick my mom, my father, brother. That's that.
Yeah.
He showed more like a dad to me. You get when I say you get to write
Yes.
your book,
You really do. I don't care what
I'm
family you were
changing some
born
characters
into.
out.
You sure can. I want to trade. You know how you trade players?
Yeah,
Trade family
we're
members
gonna die
out.
him off. We're just
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and let him
Mm-mm.
go, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna bring in Earl.
Mm-mm. He's gonna be a car accident.
And it be an uncle that was
Whoop.
weird. We gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and die him off.
Mm-mm.
That ain't my uncle.
Mm-mm.
You're like that ain't my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I changed my
Write
characters
your
out. I
story.
started to say, listen, these are my sisters. I got some women that I've danced with that we are still very close to this day. And it's like, those are sisters. If I
Right.
needed something or when it's time to link up, somebody's having an event, we all link up. We come together. We celebrate each other. We're there when when somebody needs something. And
Right.
I get to pick who my sisters are. I get to add a brother or take away a brother. You know what I mean? So you may not have been born into a family with those family members, but I do feel like at different times of our lives, God presents people just for that reason for you, you know, and you just got to know, to let them people in, get them a little, get
Yeah.
them a little door to come into so they can, people can't help you if they don't know that you need
Yeah.
help. But,
And knowing that, like you said, forgive yourself. Allow
mm-hmm,
yourself some grace. That's the hardest part, because then when we sit with ourselves and realize it's us, it's like, okay, you feel more. I think you can experience more hurt and pain, because then there's no one else to blame. You got to sit in it, and then instead of now inflicting, you're the problem. You're like, damn, you come down really hard on yourself.
mm-hmm,
And you can't come down hard on yourself. You just got to say, I did what I did based on what I knew at the time,
right.
or the tools I had. But now that I know better,
I can
I
do
can
better.
I can do better. And now
Absolutely.
you got to hold yourself accountable
Ooh,
to doing better.
that's a whole nother road.
That's a whole nother road, holding your own self. Cause see, we always say, well, you said you was gonna, and you said, and you didn't. But what about you? What did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do for you? How can you hold yourself accountable to, eating healthier, losing weight,
Mm-hmm.
picking better friends, listening to your intuition? You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
do better. The thing about it, when you do better to you, the universe will bring you better.
Yeah.
But as long as you're treating yourself a certain way, like with me, as long as I'm receiving, I keep accepting that same behavior from other people, it's going to keep coming back, because I'm
And
going to keep
then when
attracting
people
it.
see that you accepting it, it's like, well, shit, let me get $100
Mm.
and not pay it back. I mean,
Mm.
you let that nigga Terry bone. You start to think in your head like, well, she letting everybody,
You know, I
hmm,
wonder when we be saying these, like
little parts from
from
movies.
movies.
Do
I
people
wonder
be
if people
knowing?
gonna know when they watch the episodes what we talking
I know.
about. If y'all know what we talking about, put it in the comments. Y'all know where
Hmm.
we,
You let that
got it
nigga
from.
Terry bone. I know I look better than that.
I stay. Oh. But yeah, growth after realization. Yeah, that thing right there, y'all. And you gotta grow, and that. But you know what? It's a peace after that. There's a peace after realizing, well, like realizing you're the problem. Now I know that I'm the problem, right? And now and learning what to do to solve the problem. Because every problem I feel like can be solved. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
math problem. 1 + 1 = 2. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem. You can fix it. And
Mm-hmm.
once you go down that road of fixing it, and the crazy thing is, piece by piece, you can start to breathe, and you know what, your confidence builds.
Yeah,
You
I
get
agree.
better in that area.
I do think that once you decide you the problem, you can stop complaining.
You can.
I think that's what I like.
That's true.
Cause what are you complaining about? The way
Yeah.
you show up? Cause you can change that today or tomorrow. But you can literally stop complaining once you realize that, dang, this is all me.
Yeah.
I created these situations for myself. And like I said, it's healing, it's freedom in that.
Yeah.
I do feel like the moment that I was like, you know what, this is me. I felt so good to feel like this was my fault, which means I can prevent this from happening again.
Right.
That's power.
Yeah, it is. You
That's
take
not
back your
defeat.
power.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So I felt great ever since then. If I could tell anybody anything, it's to start taking accountability for the part you played and saying, you know what? I forgive you. You was never the problem. It was
Mm-hmm.
always me because I accepted whatever it is you threw my way. And people will show up the way you allow them
Mm.
to show up. Because there's no way you're going to tell me differently if I was with a man for 7 years and he gave me his ass to kiss. He wasn't horrible. But them other 3 years blew that last person out the water.
Mm.
But I don't feel like it was all because he changed. I changed, and now you had to show up differently in my
Mm,
space if you wanted to be in
yes.
my space. So now it's like, oh shit, our standards went up. Okay, I gotta be up to
Mhm.
speed. I'm trying to
Exactly.
tell you, literally, a person shows up the way you allow them to show up. So if you keep selling yourself short and showing them that you don't deserve better, you don't want better, you don't need better, they gonna give you bare minimum because you're showing up like a bare minimum ass bitch.
Wow.
Show up high quality. I don't care if you don't got everything, if you don't know everything. You show up as
Mhm.
if you do.
Fake it till you make it.
There you go. You know what they
It's
say?
all
You know
about
what I heard?
perception. 50 Cent talked about it last night in
But
the book.
did you hear the
What?
saying about you fake sleep until you really fall asleep?
Yes.
I thought about that because you do lay there like this.
You ain't sleeping till
You
you.
don't even be asleep, but
Sometimes and you don't even realize till you when you
and
fell
then you
asleep.
go.
Then you just
But you,
yeah, that is so true. You
I'm
really
just resting my
do.
eyes.
That is so
I
true.
realized that, like, you know, when you a kid and they, how they go to bed, but you ain't tired. Now you
Mhm.
gotta force yourself. Shit ain't working. Fake it till you make it, man.
Yes,
And
fake
just
it till you
start to what
make
I
it.
started to do was I started to show up for me the way I wanted that man to show up for me.
Mhm.
I started to do things for me and pamper myself. I started to go to Massage Envy and get a massage once a week. I started to do all those things that I was requiring from him. I started to do it for me so you can see
Mhm.
this is how I upkeep me.
Cuz the universe can't deny who you are. It can't
Yeah,
deny you of what's rightfully whatever you're putting out into like they say karma, whatever you put out you get back. The
right.
universe can't deny you of that.
Mm-hmm.
If you put out bullshit, you get back bullshit.
Right.
You start taking care of yourself and doing things and showing up happier and all of that.
You don't even
It the
attract
aura
the other type
you
of people. Then
don't.
people don't even see you.
You may not attract nobody for a while because
Yeah.
you in a season of just building yourself.
Yeah.
So
I
you may
mean,
be
I ain't never
one, you know,
experienced that, but I mean, you might have.
girl, bye. Don't. But you know, I will say the season of being of isolation, once you realize you've accepted some things and you're the problem and you do step back,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you do need to isolate so you
No, you
can get
do.
yourself together.
You do.
Because as long as you stay out in the world and stay around people and all of that, you're not allowing that energy to clear
Yeah.
and to cleanse. Sometimes you got to step back. You got to just cut things off and pop out later
Ooh,
on.
sometimes you gotta pop out and show
You
niggas.
gotta pop out and show niggas. And then what it is the problem is when you do come back out, you still gonna get tested. Cause I'm in that season too.
Yeah.
Cause see, now that I've moved into another season of my life, people are still approaching me as
You
if
know
I
what?
was in that
That was
old
kind of like
season.
the message that the girl had put on that dang, where'd it go? It says some people are so used to your old habits they can't see past your old ways.
Yes.
When I first started to change, and not just relationship, but just change to try to be a better person with my siblings and family, and even in my relationship, people like, yeah, but you know how she is, and it's like I'm not like that no more.
Right.
You got to be okay with knowing that people are not going to recognize the new version of you until
Mm-hmm.
it's been there for a minute. They
Mm-hmm.
only know what's been there for a minute.
Right.
So give them time.
Oh
Give them
yeah.
grace. Give those people
Yep.
grace that don't know the new version of you. You know when me and Damien got back together and I would say, nah, that's how you are. He said, that's how I was. You don't know me.
You don't know the new
They used to
me.
say that so many times and I would just stop in my tracks like, okay, you right.
Yeah.
Because all I knew was what you showed me. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I had to get accustomed to saying, okay, you're not like that no more. Or, show me something then. But I used to always be like, because that's just how you are. That's how I was.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think for the people that are deciding to change, give other people grace and time to be able to get up to speed on the new version of you. It's going to take a little
Yes.
minute. Give them time. I was crucified too. Ooh. For months, maybe even a year. But use that time to just say, I'm gonna just continue to do what I'm doing. And I'm not even doing it for y'all, I'm doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be a better version of myself, you know.
And
But
you know what? That's the last thing I'm gonna say. One of the things that's recently said to me that really lit a fire under my ass,
Mm.
and I know it's based on my own patterns and this person not seeing
The
me,
new
the new
version of you.
version of me.
Mm.
And he said, "Oh, I'll just wait. You'll eventually,
Come around.
come around. You
Ooh.
always do."
Ooh. I told you. I told
See,
I
he
told
woke when he said that he don't even realize the part of the Capricorn he woke up in me. Cause see, it's different versions of us. There's a very quiet, reserved, but there's another side. And when you wake that side up, and the thing about it, you experience that side. He experienced that side. But I guess you forgot about her because sometimes she don't come out that often. You know what I realized? She has to live in this season. This is her season to be out all the time.
you. Yeah.
That other version of me, she'll be dormant. She's still all the parts of you matter. Every part of you matter. It's just that you got to tap into the part that actually serves you in the season you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And the extrovert, I don't no bullshit, zero fucks. That's the part. That part is what exists now.
Especially when you're talking about a man that watched you say, I'm not doing basically the same pattern you had with your kid.
Yes.
She said she's not gonna give me no more money. I call her
Mm-hmm.
though. I send a text. I just need a different reason, different excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So between the guy, your kids, whoever, everybody's experiencing you in the same way. And the narrative is that you say one thing and you do another, and that's who you are. So nobody really believes when you say, "Oh, absolutely not, I'm not doing this again." Yeah, you will. You just gotta have a good enough reason. You know how people say, "I'm gonna stop cheating." You're not gonna stop cheating. You're just gonna find a better way to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna stop asking me for nothing, and you're not gonna stop giving me money. I just need a better reason, and I just need to give it some time, or I might need to give you a meal. I need to do something, but I'm gonna get it out of you because you always
Mm-hmm.
break. You always
Yeah.
break eventually. So it's like some people you
And the
really
trauma
gotta,
version part of me did for a
yeah,
long time.
yeah.
For a
So,
long, long time.
whew, this was deep, but this was a very necessary topic. Y'all let us know how y'all felt about the topic. And if this helped anybody, y'all let us know if this helped you in any type of way. Leave a comment, send us a DM, write us a message, whatever it is you choose to do. My closing message is real growth starts when you can say, yes, I also played a part in that. It's freedom that lives there. So always move in a way where you can do inventory and take accountability for the part that you played in it because there's always a part of you that was played in a situation. So,
Absolutely.
and on that note, we are closing out this show and this episode, and we will see you all on the next episode.
Been waiting all episode.